Texans traveling to
How can
the
you not
Kansas
be
City
interested in
Chiefs.
this?
Because I think the Chiefs it's going to be every Chiefs game we've ever seen, where there's going to be multiple times during it where you're going to trick yourself into thinking that the Texans can win, and then they will lose by 10 points. This is what this game's going to be. I'm obviously picking the Chiefs. I know you're insane in picking the Texans. Make the case.
I'm gonna. There's really no case, I'll be honest. I just don't want to see the Chiefs. I'm just going to pick against them the entire way through, and hopefully one of them sticks. The little that I would have for this, though, is it is a revenge game for the Texans. They did lose to the Chiefs early on, right before Christmas. Not by much, honestly, 27-19. So, and this was in Kansas City also. So, you can't really throw that out of the way. So I do see that there is a possibility here for Houston. It's going to be a long shot, but Stroud played well. I mean, he threw a couple picks. You take those away, and they're right in this game. They would be right in that game. So I honestly think that things are going to be okay for Houston to be somewhat close, but you're right. It might end up where KC most likely will, where KC will squeak this on out right at the end. But I'm going to go Houston. I think they have something to prove that, they're not slumps, and KC just might feel too comfortable.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, I know
that the Chiefs are going to win, but I'm picking the Texans.
But what you said there is the Texans aren't slumps. The Texans are slumps. They've been slumps
because they've had
season.
slumps.
They have been on a giant slump since the end of last year. Never recovered this entire season. Every podcast we did.
You said to try to make a case for him, so I was trying to make a case for him. Okay.
After each Texans either win or loss, we would come on here and be like, what's wrong with the Texans? Texans look weird. And guess what? Last week, they still in that game lost the fumble twice. Stroud threw an interception, only one touchdown. It's not like Stroud had a great game. The only reason they won last week is because they won the turnover battle, and they didn't even win it by that much. Herbert threw 4 interceptions. The Houston Texans turned the ball over 3 times. So they won the turnover battle by 1 turnover. And again, Herbert, unlike Patrick Mahomes, Herbert we've never seen have a good playoff game. That one he threw 4 interceptions in. Patrick Mahomes, we've only seen have good playoff games, really. If I saw this insane stat that I'm going to put up on the screen right now, Casino, this is, as much as we hate Mahomes, this is absolutely insane, because when you look at this stat right here, if the Chiefs, and for those listening, it's by Trey Wingo, shout out Trey Wingo, it said, should the Chiefs win Saturday against the Texans, it would be their 16th playoff win with Patrick Mahomes under center. To put it another way, in Joe Montana's 16-year career, he led his team to 16 playoff wins, second most all time. Mahomes is only in his 7th season.
Okay, that's fair. That's fine. Guess what? I don't think Joe Montana's the best quarterback to ever play. So, whoop-de-doo. He caught it. He caught him. Cool. Guess what? There's talk about Mahomes being better than Brady at the end of his career. So why are we trying to compare him to Joe Montana? No, he's going to surpass Joe Montana. He already has. So, I mean,
well, Joe Montana won 4. So Patrick Mahomes has won 3. If he wins 1 more, he's tied. So he needs 5, and then he needs 7 to catch Brady. And that's a good question. Do you think Mahomes gets 8 Super Bowls in his career?
No, because the reason being is Adam, and oh my gosh, their coach. Why am I totally blanking?
Andy Reid.
Thank you. Andy Reid. I don't know what kind of word I was trying to say there. Andy Reid, he's only got maybe 2-3 seasons tops left in him. I honestly think he could retire after this year. So,
yeah. Also, what is it when it comes to?
And I think Patrick Mahomes might need Andy Reid.
Well, also the funnest part, or the most fun part of the Patriots dynasty, was that 10-year window where they didn't get to a Super Bowl, and everybody just took a sigh of relief and was like, it's over. And then the second part of it started.
They just
Oh,
didn't
yeah, but
win.
they lost them, right? Yeah.
That's fine, but they
So,
still got there. In Brady's career, he almost finished his career. I think he's 1 year shy of finishing 500 of
in
going
Super
to
Bowl. Or
Super Bowls, which is it's just stupid. It's just
well,
silly.
honestly, I mean, Patrick Mahomes is right there. I
I
think
know.
he's been
I
in the
know.
AFC Championship game
Patrick
every.
Mahomes can do this. And I think if Andy Reid stuck around for another decade, he could reach Tom Brady's record.
Also, another stat I'm going to put up on the board that will, or on the screen right here, that will back up what Casino is saying, where there is a slim chance.
Mhm.
And that slim chance is, I thought this was an interesting stat. The game takes
There it
place
is.
on Saturday
There it
at
is. There's my win.
4:30 East Coast time. So when the Chiefs have played a game that starts at either 4:25 to 4:30 on East Coast time for the playoffs, they are 0-2. Every other time slot they are 8-0. So I mean, if me of all people, us of all people, if the Texans upset the Chiefs, and then all of a sudden, you have an AFC championship where it's either Texans, Bills, Ravens are going to the Super Bowl, I think there will be parades in the street. There will be
Oh, yeah.
parades in the street. I
Oh, yeah.
mean,
100%. I will make a parade around my block with my kids.
Because nobody wants to see the Chiefs unless you're a Chiefs fan, or unless you're one of those weirdos that just wants to witness history, quote unquote, as if it means anything.
No.
But let's dive into the numbers, Casino. So
Yeah.
as you just mentioned,
I just talked to my diehard Chiefs friend fan. He's been diehard his whole life, but I told him, I'm like, just lose this year and then win 2 again and then lose again. Like, that's totally fine by me. Totally fine. I don't want the 3-peat.
no, I want that 10-year period where they lose every Super Bowl or they don't get to it. And then everybody's like, is the Chiefs dynasty over? And then they never get the second part where they instead win 3. I want Mahomes to be stuck at 3 and then never win it. Or maybe he goes the LeBron route, which is LeBron's chasing Jordan. LeBron wins 4. And then it's just like, he'll never get 5 or 6. He'll never, and that's just where we are with Mahomes. He just will just be like, maybe he's not better than Montana. He can never get 4. That would be fantastic. But diving into the numbers, as you mentioned,
and you know what? You know what's really funny? We always talk about, sorry, real quick. Jordan always having 7. Jordan has 7. Guess what?
No, Jordan has 6.
6. Okay. Well, you want to know who has 11?
Well, that's Bill Russell, but it's a different time.
No,
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't. No, it does matter.
The same reason we don't count the Eagles having like 3 championships in the 60s. It's a different game.
No, they had a size. They had a size an extra special ring for Bill Russell because he couldn't fit any more on his hands.
Yeah. Let's go to the last meeting between, as you just said, the Chiefs and Texans. The Chiefs won 27-19 on December 21st of last year. But the numbers, again, we briefly talked about this on last show. The numbers between these two teams is shockingly similar, considering that the Texans finished the season 10-7 and the Chiefs finished 15-2. The offense for both these teams, 16th for the Chiefs, 22nd for the Texans, 6th in the league in total defense for the Texans, 9th in the league for the Chiefs. Passing and rushing, we did that where they're both similar but flipped. So Chiefs are a better passing team, Texans a better running team. But then when you really dive into these two teams, I think the thing that really sticks out is when you've talked about the Chiefs this season, when we've talked about the Chiefs this season, it's been a tale of like, what's wrong with the Chiefs O-line? Right? Like Patrick Mahomes has been getting hit. He's been getting sacked more than he has any year in his career. But when you look at it, the sacks allowed this year have been 41 for the Chiefs. For the Texans, it's 54. So we think Mahomes has been getting hit and, roughed up all season, but CJ Stroud has been getting roughed up and hit almost twice as much this entire season as Patrick Mahomes. And I really think that's why this game is just going to be an ugly defensive slugfest where both these quarterbacks are just getting absolutely rocked.
All right. Fair. Go Texans.
And then when you look at the touchdowns to interceptions, Mahomes has 6 more than Stroud, and then Stroud has 1 more interception than Mahomes. Their yards and completion percentage basically the same. So it's also crazy that we were like, sophomore slump for Stroud. He's had a rough year. He's been bad. And then you look at Patrick Mahomes, and it's like the exact same numbers. And again, you can also say, oh, well, neither
Well, this is
have
Patrick
weapons.
Mahomes' worst year that he's ever had.
Yeah, and I don't think it's even a question. And again, they're still 15-2 because God hates all of us and life isn't fair. But yeah, the final bullet on this one is the game takes place in Kansas City on Saturday in the Texans time slot. They just love putting the Texans in the first Saturday. What is it? Playoff game, and Chiefs might win this, or Chiefs might lose this, but they'll probably win it. So you're picking the Texans in an upset.
I'm picking the Texans. Just wait till it happens.
And I'm obviously picking the Chiefs.